Welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
I'm her husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn.
We're reviewing Love is Blind, episode 4 through 6. Hope you enjoyed the 1 through 3 review. We're also going to make sure after we finish this video, we do 7 through 10. But while you're watching this one, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and don't miss any of our other shows that we review, like Married at First Sight. So once again, make sure you hit the subscribe button and that bell notification. And now, Love is Blind, episode 4 through 7.
Alright, so episode 4, we start with the couples. Well, we'll start with the couples. They're in Mexico. And we're seeing how they're relating to each other. And Kenny and Kelly, real touchy-feely. They're real sweet with it.
Yeah, they're real touchy-feely, real sweet with it. They really can see the chemistry between those two. They really like each other. They had matching outfits on, as we mentioned in the last review. And they're really understanding. As we mentioned, they didn't do too much with them in the first 3 episodes, but now we're starting to see who Kenny and Kelly really are. And so they really like each other. They have a good relationship with each other. And, you know, they're staying to themselves. They stand out of other people, staying out of other people's mess, because some of the other couples are kind of intertwined with each other because somebody else like there. But Kenny and Kelly are staying out of the mess that is going on.
Yeah, they're just real wrapped up in each other, and they're cute to me.
Yeah, they're cute.
They're cute. And then we got Jessica and Mark, and she just can't. She keeps dwelling on the fact that, you know, we're in this thing, but she's on the age thing. She's still harping on the age thing.
We're gonna run this together, 4, 5, and 6 with Jessica and Mark. Well, 4 and 5. Mark and Jessica. Jessica still has an issue with the age. She also has an issue with him not being as big as she liked or as tall as she liked, and then she also has an issue now because in this episode she actually gets to see Matthew Barnett for the first time since they were talking to Pod, and she saw what he liked. So he looks like what she wants, the physical specimen, the big tall guy, the nice beard. You know, she wants, you know, Barnett. And so they're having conversation, and she gets to see him for the first time, and they start to, you know, conversate, and she kind of apologized, or he kind of apologized, or she tells him basically how she feels about the situation and what happened between them in the pod. You know, so it gets weird with her because she's out there.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that I don't know if it's, well, I'm not saying it's not so much because Barnett fits her typical, but she and Mark aren't hitting it off on a physical level. It's just like the attraction's not there. She says she's having a hard time melding the again, and she says this to one of the girls there. I'm having a hard time melding the voice with the face that I now see, and the feelings that I felt for the voice, and can I get to that with the actual face?
But, you know, she having a hard time because everybody else is talking about what they did and what they didn't do, what kind of sex they had, and if they had sex when they met, and she's looking there like, and he felt uncomfortable too because the guys were talking about it, and so they become awkward. And he wants the physicality. Yes, he really wants the physical. He wants to get physical with Jessica. He loves Jessica. Jessica is his main squeeze, his boo thing, his everything, and he wants her. And she's not reciprocating the fact, and he gets confused sometimes, even in episode 6, and he getting confused because she gets drunk and she forgets some type of other way. She gets hot and bothered when she gets liquored up. Man. So she jumps all over him, and you know, even when they, I don't want to jump ahead, but go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But yeah, which they were at in episode 6 when they were at the party. They were having a party, and she's talking to Barnett, and they're having a deep conversation, and she was telling him, I really like you, and you're the one I really wanted to be with, and all these things, and so she's saying this out of her drunken stupor, and then she, next thing you see her jumping on Mark, and I'm thinking she's jumping on Mark because she can't jump on Barnett like that, so she's jumping on Mark like, look, this is how I'm gonna show Barnett I really like you. So she's giving a physicality to Mark because of Barnett, not because she liked Mark.
Yeah, and Mark notices. It's like, why are you acting like this? Yeah. He probably can't put the 2 and 2 really together with the Barnett thing, but he's like, now something ain't right. I don't like this. Now we went from one extreme to the other. I don't want this though. And you know, she's like, oh, it hurt my feelings when you dumped me, or since you didn't want to pick me, Barnett, and you know, she even tells Barnett, you know, Mark's not what I expected. It's just
like he was gonna jump on her and leave Amber and mess with her, some high school type stuff.
Yeah, how's it with you and Amber? He was like, I ain't got no problem. She wasn't. I don't think that really.
Yeah, but you know, she got to the point where she's drunk and they having a conversation, and she like, I should have been with Barnett, and
oh yeah,
and so Mark had to deal with that. You know, in episode 5, and I'm backtracking, they saw each other's apartments or where they live at, and you know, Mark lives with a friend. And she makes 6 figures, live in a nice, beautiful house, doesn't do her own laundry. And so they come from 2 different worlds. And she's still dealing with, as you mentioned, she's still dealing with the age thing. What are your family and people going to say?
Your family's not going to like it.
And he was like, you knew I was 24 when we talked in the pod from day 1. You didn't have a problem with it. So why now?
But it's almost like she's trying to use that as a fallback, you know? Because they're not... Well, she's not feeling him like she wants. So it's. I think she's instead of saying that, accepting her drunken stupor when she's like, "Oh, I wanted Barnett. Oh, I should have been, you know, Barnett this, Barnett that." So instead of that, and her drunken stupor, outside of that, she's making the age thing like an excuse to try to get out of dealing with her and Mark. But yeah, I thought it was funny that Mark says he lives with a roommate and his girlfriend, and they talked about doing laundry. I don't do my own laundry, and you know, they go to her place, and it's like it's like light years apart.
Immaculate. It's
light years apart. Yeah. She's real sedity. Real sedity.
You know, so they have their, you know, Mark and Jessica have their issues and what's going on. Let's go to another couple. Lauren and Cameron. I mean,
I like them.
Everybody likes them. You know, they talk about. They didn't really talk about what they did or didn't do. They just stayed up all night and watched Netflix and chill. Amber,
quote unquote, Netflix and chill.
Lauren still kind of said we stayed up to like 4 o'clock in the morning looting, and that they did something.
Right.
That they, you know, that.
But Cameron said, "I don't kiss and tell."
I don't kiss and tell. So they was tired. You know. We can read between the lines. We all grown folks here. They're adults. They did the doggone thing, you know.
Oh, let me pause right there. The other thing that, I mean, you know, being an African American woman, just like Lauren, the one thing she said was, you know, I like to keep my hair in place. I put my bonnet on, and she put her bonnet on for bed, and Cameron didn't have no problem with it. Yeah, he was like, it's all good.
But we found out Cameron also had another, he's also messed with an African American before.
Yeah, he's been in an interracial relationship
before. So, I mean, he didn't have a problem with the bonnet because I felt he'd been used to the bonnet. I mean, was the first time he saw the bonnet. You know, but Cameron seemed like he's been around a lot of African Americans. We find out in a later episode that he was in a rap group. So we find out different things about Cameron that we know that he embraces, or not embrace, but he's comfortable around the African American culture. So good for them. They have a good relationship. We saw that she has a nice little tiny space that she lives in, and Cameron already has a ready-made house that he's ready for a family.
Oh man,
his
house was beautiful.
He got his stuff together. I mean, he looked at a nice old kind of vintage type house with a big nice patio. He has his stuff together, and so he has his things in order by being an engineer. She's working to that point, and they're gonna meet together. And I like those two. They have a good chemistry there that's going on, and good communication. They talk, and you know, even when they was at the party, and you know, she was kind of having a discussion with Damien. He kind of laid back and let her finish and let her be her, let her have a conversation. Which, as a man, sometimes when your woman is engaging with another person or another man, and things going a little bit south, you play it back until it long it don't get out of hand. And then when it get out of hand, you step in. But she was handling her own, and I think that's what I like about Cameron. He knows how to give Lauren her space and let her maneuver in the realms that she want to move in.
Yeah. The one other thing that they talked about was the fact that Lauren's had boyfriends before, but her parents have never met.
Never met
one of her boyfriends. She's never.
Yeah.
What her dad in particular has never met one of her boyfriends. So she's kind of on edge about that. Like, I'm going to see how dad's going to do it, because he's very protective. He's very protective. They talked about melding their families together, how they'll mesh together, and her concern is her dad. And
her dad, because he's a little militant.
Oh yeah.
Because she was talking about his age and what he went through.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the things that he's done and being in the South and the things that he went up into. So that backdrop or what he's been through has an impression and leaves an impression on people in African Americans, because this is what, and not saying it makes it right because all Caucasians didn't do anything to you, but it has that stigma of what's involved in his life and what he went through as a child.
Right.
So that's one of the issues she's dealing with. You know, how can this work with my dad, because she's a daddy's girl, and she wants to approve of her dad and want to make sure that her dad really sees Cameron for who he is, and that's being a person first and not the color skin that she loves.
The only other little quirky, funny thing, they talked about sharing items between each other, and you know, would you use my toothbrush? Okay. Cameron was like, yeah, I've done it before. Ew. She's like, ew.
I think most dudes would do. I'm just saying, most dudes would do that. I mean, water, you wash it off, you gotta brush your teeth, you roll out.
I mean, yeah, if absolutely necessary, but she's like, first of all, she's like, no. But the other thing is, like, let's not make that a habit. So
yeah, let's not make that a habit.
I think that's the only point that they were like, not on the same page, you know, like, I don't want that. Make sure you put the toilet seat down, you know, do all that stuff. But they're cute overall. I think they're gonna be okay. I think they're gonna be okay.
And they're gonna be alright. And then you got Damien and Gigi.
Damien and Gigi,
they're up and down. They have issues. They have problems. You know, the couple started off. They did have sex because we know Gigi wanted to jump Damon's bones, and she was like, "Yo." He said, "I'll move at your pace." Well, I guess he caught up to her pace that night because she was happy about what they did, and she was happy about having sex with him. She was happy about spending time with him. You know, they went on a little excursion on the boat, and she had an issue because he was like, "Yo, I'm on vacation. I want to just chill. I don't want to do all this talking. I just want to chill." And she didn't understand how he just wanted a moment to chill. And I think, and then she gets upset and feel like he's against her because he's not talking as much to her as they were in the pod. And which the pod is, you're forced to kind of have that conversation. You're forced to talk. This is the real world. So they are at the point in the real world where, you know, I want to enjoy the sun and lay on this boat. And right now, for the next 15, 20 minutes, I don't want to have a conversation.
But it's funny that you would say the real world, because that's what she was trying to talk about reality. Yeah. Like when we get back to our regular lives, when we get back to our jobs, when we get back to our families, to our homes, well, where we're going to stay, and we get our phones back and we're back in the real world. She's wanting to talk about that. And then, like you said, Damien is like, I'm trying to soak up the vacation. They've had the couples massage. He is soaking up every minute of this vacation. And he is disturbed that she wants to do something other than live in the moment. Yeah, but she's trying to prepare herself. Sometimes people are like that. You know, I understand. I want to prepare myself for what we're going to do from here.
But he was saying he was relaxing because he don't know if he's going to have a job when he gets back because he's been gone for so long.
Right.
I mean, he's like, yo, I don't know what's going to happen. My job may say, you know what, you've been gone too long. You don't have enough time off. PTO, whatever you want to call it, paid leave. You got to go. And so he's like, well, I'm here. I'm going to enjoy this. And, you know, they had communication. They realized that they finally communicated with each other. And she understood where he was coming from, and that communication kind of brought them a little bit together. But then she also had another incident when they was at the party, after they got their apartments and they got together, and she blew up. They was yelling at each other in front of the other couple.
Oh, it was embarrassing.
And you know, and going back and forth, and she's like, "This is what we talking. You're not respecting me. You're not listening to me. You're not hearing me. Why are you saying that?" She was trying to, meaning she was Lauren. She was kind of awkward, and you're still being more awkward. And we don't like awkward moments. Like Gigi is okay. You understand? Let it go. You're in front of people. You're in front of other couples. Your friends. Y'all all got friends like that. When they start arguing, a couple start arguing, you're like, "Ooh, dang! I can't believe they did that."
Yeah,
you know. So he kind of was embarrassed. I was embarrassed for him.
But he's getting to see that Gigi's hot-tempered, and we find out later, like she said, I'm a lot. She's definitely a lot.
But she goes back to what she said in the pod. She self-sabotages. Yeah. And so it's good, and she don't know how to handle it. So when something just doesn't go her way that day, and his biggest thing is, can we have a good day?
Yeah.
Can we have a good way? We not arguing.
Don't ruin the day.
Don't ruin the day. So, and I mean, some people been there. Don't ruin the day. Today, let's have a good day. Let's not argue. Let's not fuss. Let's not fight. Let's just have a good, solid day. And I think that's what he just wants. He wants to have a day with her where there's no strife or envy or fighting. And so that's where they're at. They're a couple that I can see them still making it, but they're kind of explosive with each other because she's hot tempered.
Yeah.
And young.
Yeah. All right. So that leaves Barnett and Amber. It's one more after that, but that leaves Barnett and Amber.
Well, yeah, Barnett and Amber. Amber said that we said it in episode 3. She couldn't stop. She wanted to jump Barnett's bones. She wanted to be on top of him. She can't wait till she gets to the hotel room. She can't wait till we get this trip because I'm going to jump his bones and I'm going to be on him. And she really likes him and she really cares about him. And I think he cares about her and he loves her and loves her. And he cares about how she's doing and what she's doing. And there's some things that turn Barnett off a little bit about her in this episode. I mean, these episodes 4, 5, and 6 as we run them together. One is the fact that she is not financially, she doesn't do well with her money.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she said she had a credit card.
$700 limit in...
makeup. It's just a makeup credit card. He's like, wow, you spent $700 on makeup. She was like, shoot, I spent $200 in one wop.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she says she's got this makeup credit card that's at its limit. She's got a $20,000 student loan, and she didn't finish school. And she's not been paying on it. And let's add on top of that,
she has no place to live.
I moved from couch to couch to couch. Bruh, I promise you, I was sitting here like, Barnett, that's like a red flag for me. I don't
Y'all didn't talk about money? I mean, that was been one of the conversations in the pod. Would have talked about money. I would have talked about livelihood, what's going on. That's where.
Well, in the pod, she talked about how she was an Army mechanic.
Well, she probably is, and it makes you question why you got a $20,000 loan if you was an Army mechanic. Where's your GI Bill? What did you do with your GI Bill? I know you didn't finish school, so did you have to pay that back because you didn't finish school? Why are you not paying your bills? Barnett looks like, people say, he's a frat boy. He looks like he comes from a little bit of money, or he has money based off his house and where he was at, and the way he was looking at her when she like, you don't pay your bills. So Barnett was on that Dave Ramsey plan. You know what I'm saying? Like hold on, you in debt?
Like, you don't even pay the minimum.
You don't pay the minimum. You in debt? We don't do debt around here. That
was sketchy to me.
It's a little sketchy there. To make sure your finances are right. Make sure she should have made sure she had the right stuff in order. Like you jumping from house to house, you're homeless. So therefore, you may be on this show just to get somebody so you can live with. I mean, just be honest. Look at her. She look like she's just on the show to have somebody, and we got to stay at your place, his place. So Amber, when it comes to finances, she should be keeping the money in books in their house.
No, definitely not. Yeah. I'm sure Barnett will be in charge of that. The other thing I want to say with them is, she talked to Barnett. She asked him how was it to, see Jessica in person. Obviously, Jessica soaked it up a lot more than Barnett. I guess he was like, it's okay. Yeah. He wasn't very moved. He's really focused on Amber. He didn't let the thing with Jessica shake him, and I think that was a good thing.
But Amber was like, if she comes to my man and hangs on him one more time,
yeah, it's gonna be trouble.
Because she really was sitting over there laughing and giggling and and you really looking into his eyes, and Amber saw that, and even though she was talking to Mark, she was like, yo, if she hangs on him and be over there one more time, we're gonna have some problems.
She gonna feel the pain.
We already know that. Jessica said she couldn't beat up Amber anyway, so she's already scared and terrified of what Amber could do to her. So she has to be careful and be mindful of what happens and while she's dealing with Barnett. And so this couple, I think they're on a good path, but the money thing and her bouncing from house to house,
it's gonna be a problem.
It worries me. It worries me a little bit, and we talk about the dog in Barnett's house.
As a matter of fact, I think she said too. She was like, I think it's good I don't have any place to. I don't know if she said good, but it's good I don't have a place to stay because I can move in with him. This is my house.
And she said she works for the moment. She mentioned she only worked like 2 or 3 days a week. I mean, she's not working. She works just to survive, not to get it.
Yes, that's what she said.
So she said she's working just to survive, not to leave a legacy, not to pay off their debt, not to do anything. She's just living to survive, and that's a bad way to live. When you live it just to survive, you should have some type of as a emergency fund, some type of no debt clause or something like that. You just can't live for the day.
Yeah, that really threw me off with Amber. I was like, "Come on, girl," because I was feeling her till then.
Yeah, get yourself together.
She's just sounds so unstable.
Yeah.
Speaking of unstable.
Yeah, we say
Lord.
the final couple for last because that's as much time as they had on this show.
Yeah, episode 4 was it for them.
Episode 4 was it for Diamond and Carlton. They really had a blow up. She went to Carlton and told him how she felt about this. He dropped the bombshell on her. He dropped the bombshell on her like, dude, you like dudes? I don't know why. My question to you at the end of my video: why did she didn't say that in the pod?
Right.
It allowed me to make the decision in the pod. Don't give me the decision. We are on a honeymoon. I feel like you lied to me. You deceived me.
Yeah, they slept apart that night because she needed some time to think about it. And when she met up with him, to talk about how she felt, man, that thing went left.
It went left quickly because he called her a B and she called him go be with your boyfriend and an effort, an MFer, and
her your wig been sliding back from day one.
They were drinking each other's face, and he thought he was doing something by being transparent to her on the first night of their engagement when they're in Mexico, where he should have been transparent to her in the pod. Give me a decision to make while we're in the pod, because she may have said, you know what, this is not what I want to be in, or this is not the relationship I want to have, because I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know how to handle this information. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot to know that your spouse has been with the same sex. It is a lot.
Yeah. She expressed, I feel betrayed. I feel like you've been dishonest. I feel blindsided. And
I love you, but
how do I know you're not going to, up and leave me? I feel like you're not serious. What are you doing this for? And Carlton was so offended. And it was just ugly. It was so bad.
He could not see how she felt that way. He felt by him just exposing himself and him just being honest, everything was going to be okay, cool, let me deal with it. But she had a million questions. She really wanted to know. Mm-hmm. And so when you see the other person's expression and face, that's when it became very combustible in this relationship. If they would have said this in a pod, I think they could have got over this. Because he could have been able to not perceive any notions or judgment. He could have really opened up and said, I don't feel this way anymore. Mm-hmm. I like women. I like you. I love you. I want to be with you. But
he wouldn't have said that in the pod, because he still didn't say that. I'm attracted to hearts. It's not about the attachments that's on a person. It's about hearts. And I think that's the part that messed her up too. It's like, so you really could. It's bad enough to have to try to contend with the fact that you might leave me for a woman. You might leave me for a man or a woman.
And a woman.
I got a lot to compete with.
I have a lot to compete with.
And for some people, that's too much to handle. It was too much for Diamond. It was really bad. I mean, she was.
I felt bad for her because she had put all this into it, and it may have been. Let's be honest. It could be somebody else in the pod that she was feeling. Mm-hmm. That we never seen.
And that's what she said. She said, I was focused on Carlton. Mm-hmm. I feel like I wasted my time. I got cheated.
Wasted the time. You got cheated.
Man, she cried and took her lashes off.
Yeah, she was ready to ball out.
Oh my gosh, their argument was so ugly. Yeah. It just on that, it's just a way to disagree and fight. And the low blows, that was
the low blows of cussing, the name calling, the B word being thrown around. You go F this person, F that person, the F words. It was like they were never in love. It seemed like they was enemies. They were were people on the street, not these two people who met and fell in love. And I guess it's better for her to find out now how he deals with adversity, how she deals with adversity, than it is for them to get married and have this blow up while they're married. That would have been bad.
Oh yeah.
It would have been really bad, and so it's important for them to, in their future relationships, to learn how to have conversation, learn how to have discussion, learn how to argue without being disrespectful.
Yeah. So that was it for Diamond and Carlton, and it was like the other couples didn't even know they were there.
Yeah, they didn't get a chance to meet the other couples or hang out with the other couples, and because Nick and his wife Vanessa comes, and
they said nothing about them.
Said nothing about them, and everybody got their apartments, their last supper, and next thing you know, they switched away back to Atlanta into reality, and it's like Carlton and Diamond never even existed. And so
Man, that was rough.
Interested to see what they say in the reunion show when that comes up, where Colton and Diamond has and what kind of viewpoints people have. But right now, I'm really starting to enjoy the Love Is Blind show and how they're dealing with the couples and how each piece shows. I'll be interested to see how in 7, 8, and 9 how the couples meet each other's families and see how they interact with other families and see what other dynamics go there, because we know meeting families can be very very difficult,
stressful
and stressful.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see it going forward.
Yeah.
We'll be back to get that review for you.
So I hope you enjoyed the review. Make sure you make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below. Also, check out some of our other shows, Married at First Sight, and other things that we review. Hey, Love Is Blind, episode 4 through 7.
Bye.
Bye.